Right, USB-C. Steve said, Simon, my USB-C's all, I don't know what I've been sticking in there, he said, but it's all a bit mashed up. Can you show me how to change the USB-C panel? But I'm going to do better than that, Steve. We are going to show everybody how to change your USB-C panel. So this is the panel we're talking about. Down below, you're in the sort of dark hole of Calcutta down here. And you've got a USB-A and a USB-C. Now, this is quite interesting. So in some regions, they put a nano card, a SIM card, a nano SIM card in there. Has it got one in there? No. And you can actually get your own data. So the Defender has a built-in, it has a couple of built-in SIM cards actually, but it has a built-in SIM card in the PIVI system. And obviously you have to pay your contract to have that data. But in some regions, Land Rover haven't been able to get contracts with providers. So they allow customers in those regions just to put their SIM card in. Now, obviously, the data for your own SIM card is a lot cheaper than paying Land Rover's prices for SIM cards. So you can actually change the module to the one with the nano SIM. So we're going to look at that. But you need to change your CCF settings dark inside the computer to enable it and to tell it you've got this SIM fitted, and then you can use your personal data. We could go into that a bit maybe another time. Right, I might go into it a bit later now. We'll have a look. Right, so how do you change this? So this panel is held in. We can have a look at how it's held in. Have you got the light on that? So at the top you've got these little spring clips, and at the bottom you've got these pegs. So what we sort of need to do is force it down a bit, release these two, tip it up, and then release those bottom pegs. So we have got this here, and we are going to get it in here, and we're going to squeeze the top down. Now the top releases quite well, and then you've got to like shift it up a bit, okay, and then the bottom releases. And then we've got one of these connectors. Now we'll have a look at this. It's all very interesting. Okay, this is a FACRA connector, so you need to look on the underside of the FACRA connector, and you need to push on this little spring tab. We got that in the video shot just about. Yeah. Alright, and then that should, you might be better off doing it with your finger actually. Let's have a go. I've got to push that down to release the latch. There you go. Right, so let's have a look. So we're basically pushing down on that top that releases the latch that releases this. So you can see, I've lost the other one. So on the back, they're both the same, okay? And on the front, they're clearly different because you've got the nano SIM. Now, I'm going to go off piste a bit here because I'm inquisitive and I like breaking things. I thought, what is actually under? Now, look, this cover is held on with these little tabs here. So if you spring these little tabs off, keep forcing it, chase our tail round. Here we go. We've got a naughty little one at the side here. We're going to have a look at what's inside here. I break my car, so you don't need to break yours, as they say. Right, and there you go. Whoa! Right then, nearly broke it. So you can get the fascia off. Now look, so this is the one without the nano SIM. Look, they've used the same moulding, which is clever, right? But it gets more interesting still, look. Right. So that is the one. Now, you can see where the SIM card should be mounted here. Let's have a look at the other one and see if it's missing any electronics, or did they just leave out a SIM holder? Let's have a look. So we've dismantled both of them, and obviously you can see as you're looking at the camera, the upper one does not have the SIM card holder, the bottom one does. And if I rotate them around, so what I'm looking for is, are any ICs missing or different, or electric components? I think it's probably cheaper for them to make it all and just leave off the SIM card bit. But look, that looks to me like everything is present. I'll take a picture and put it on the screen now, and you can, it's like Where's Wally, isn't it? You can spot the difference. Now, I don't like upsetting Land Rover because I like Land Rover, but because there's an eSIM in the vehicle, there's actually a way, I'll show you, there's a way to find out what your eSIM is. Right, so let's turn the ignition on, and then if you go on your PIVI screen, into here, and you need the one that says, oh, not vehicle, connectivity, and if you go to About Connectivity, it will show you the vehicle MAC address, and it will show you the IMEI address. But the ICC-ID number is what you need to take control of your SIM. Because I was wondering whether with the eSIM, if you've got a phone with an eSIM, like some of the watches, the Apple Watches have eSIMs in, you can take control of that and you can port the number. So I was wondering if it's possible to port the number of the vehicle eSIM so that you could take control of it yourself and just pay Vodafone directly for that eSIM. But it's not something I've managed to do yet, but I haven't spent a lot of time. But let me show you where that information is. Right, if we're on the passenger seat, if we remove this cover here, there are 4 nuts, 2 on here, 2 on here that I've removed with a 10mm socket, and you can lift this up, lift that out the way, and you will see this label. And on this label here, you've got your IMEI number and your ICC ID number, okay? And that is what you need to port your number across. Now, I'm not condoning it or saying Land Rover's super expensive or anything, but if anyone's good with porting numbers and stuff, that may be possible to move your data provision, because that is the eSIM is actually in this box. This is the Pivi controller box here. Right, let's get back up to the front. We've gone way off piste in this video, so it's interesting. There are 2 FACRA connectors on the back of each of these, and only one of them is used. Right, so which one should we put in? I'll probably put this one back in, so get that back in. And then you'll probably need to use something like a gap IID tool. We'll get it out now and see if we can see which the change is to change it to a personal SIM. Okay, put that in, get the bottom in first, and then push the top in. Right, we're in. Right, let's grab the IID tool. This is the gap IID tool, and we plug that in the ODB2 port, which is under here somewhere. Okay, right, here it's woken the car up. We'll need to have the ignition on. We don't need to start the car. And then we need to go on our phone, find the diagnostics and the gap IID tool, and then let's search for tool. Okay, so now it's reading all the information. Right, then we need to go into the CCF, the car configuration. So every car is built, and it's so it's going to load it in now. Okay, and let's have a look. Okay, now we'll go into complete list. These other ones are little shortcuts I've created. And then we can search for, let's search for SIM, okay, because we know it's something to do with the SIM card. Let's see if we can find out what it is. Right, so it looks like it's this one here. It says Pivi SIM type, and currently it's PSIM, so I'd already changed it. So what you will need to change it from is, so it's got, the choices are consumer eSIM, not fitted. Let me see what it was originally. Right, so I've just checked on the 90, just jumped in the 90 because the 90's got the original sort of no SIM card slot in it, and we haven't messed with this one. And so there you go, you can see the original setting is machine to machine eSIM. So that's what you will change it from. So if you want to activate it, you go to PSIM. Now, interestingly, I don't know what consumer eSIM means. That's almost like we've released the eSIM that's built into the Pivi control module. But we'll go for PSIM, which is personal SIM charge. Okay, and then we could apply the chain, and then the IID tool will go through, reflash the computer, and upload it. So you need something like an IID tool to change the CCF files, so that you've then got a personal SIM card. Right. If you want to know more about that and you want me to do a demo and fit that, let me know. But there we go. What we covered then, we've done how to change your unit. Now, there are different units available from Land Rover. There's some, there only used to be the 2. And it seems with chassis number changes, there's a whole host of these available now. And there's some with an Android box for the Chinese market. So the whole Pivi Android thing gets pretty technical pretty quickly. But that is it for now. Good luck with that.